What you're looking at is the Boston Mountains in northwestern Arkansas. Wifey and I are heading up to see our son up in Rogers, Arkansas, and we're on Highway 540 right now. Beautiful place, especially in the summertime. Boy, it's just so green around here. Anyway, while I'm in Rogers, I'm going to go ahead and stop into my favorite little paint store and see if I can't check out his Mohawk toner rack. And maybe he'll have some light colored toners. If so, I'll pick up a couple of cans. This is the Bobby Hopper tunnel along 540. Not very long, but 540 was just completed a few years ago. We used to have to go all the way up through the woods, you know, a 2-lane highway, 3-lane highways. Now we can just get up there in no time flat. The Bobby Hopper Tunnel. That's Fayetteville off in the distance over there. All those buildings beginning to pop up. The next major city we'll come to will be Rogers. We're still in the Fayetteville area. But the northwestern part of Arkansas is a very wealthy area. It would be Fayetteville, Rogers, Fayetteville, Springdale, Rogers, and Bentonville. And the reason it's very wealthy is that Bentonville is the home of Walmart. For those of you who don't know, Walmart originated and still remains in Arkansas. Well, here it is in Rogers, Arkansas, the Town and Country Paint Store. I'm going to go in there and see what we've got in toner. Can't wait, can't wait. Here we go. Saturday, 8 to noon. Well, I'm not about to make this day a total loss on buying. So we are at what's called Outside the Box Flea Market. And it's a big job. It goes all the way around here. It used to be one of the office complexes for Tyson Chicken Company. Tyson Foods, I guess, up here in Rogers. Yeah, but this has both upstairs and downstairs, everywhere you look. Lots of stuff in here. I know they've got some LPs in here I can pick up for $1 a piece. Incidentally, today the temperature, 23rd of January, is 60 degrees up in northwestern Arkansas. It's a beautiful day. Great day to shop. Yeah, I picked up a record album for Tim, and it's the Barbra Streisand album. She's an excellent singer. I just love her. And Debbie Boone, You Light Up My Life. I remember that album when it came out. I picked up a Perry Como and a Guy Lombardo. Guy Lombardo was my favorite band when I was younger. And I've got Barbra Streisand and Brother Gibbs from the Bee Gees. Another Barbra Streisand album. Every single one of these, by the way, have not got a single hairline scratch of any kind on any of them on either side. They're absolutely flawless records. Got them for $1 a piece. Well, we've got to have some of that toner. That's all there is to it. So we went ahead and stayed an extra day up here in Rogers. It's now 7:35 on Monday morning. So I've got to get back to the toner store, be there by 8 o'clock when he opens up, grab the toner, and then head off to Conway, which is about 230 miles away, and then I have to head off to work myself. All right, this time we are in luck. It says open. And here's the toner rack. It's got everything to include lacquer for brass. We got more retarder, no blush retarder, and it's got some wax and wash, and we've even got some clear, I don't know what an activator is, but anyway, they've got that. And clear lacquer, and a bunch of different cans. I just bought 6 of them. Now, some of you probably thought I was going to strip the entire cabinet, but that was not the case. I was only going to strip the front. And I probably left the wrong impression on that, but I've gone ahead and stripped it back down to the original color. Anyway, getting along these edges down here and along these edges, removing the toner. That was done using Q-tips. You just get it in the lacquer thinner and then run it real close, real long there like that. It takes a while, you know. Now some of it did come off way down in there. You can see it. But that's just a matter of a quick 800 grit sanding and then another shot of toner with a little bit of semi-gloss lacquer over the top, which I will spray after I get the front down. I'll just do that all at once. Originally this cabinet had a dark strip at the top and a dark strip at the bottom, a little bit darker than the rest of the front. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of walnut stain, not very much, just enough to get it darkened up just a little bit. I just want to basically put a tint on there, on top and bottom, just give it a little tint. That's all we're looking for. And now I've gone ahead and put some toner on there. And it doesn't look too bad, top and bottom. I like that. It's not as dark as the top, and you can still see some wood grain through it. Now we need to work on the larger part of the front. But here's the problem you will face on a cabinet like this, where you have two different kinds of veneer. It's almost like an optical illusion. Right here, you see that the right-hand side is lighter than the left, but when we tip it up, the left-hand side becomes lighter than the right. I don't know if you can make that out in the cabinet or not. Here's a better shot of how this thing changes color, which will make it very difficult for you to figure out. The dark on the right, light on the left. Now when you tilt it down this way, the dark is on the left and the light is on the right. Weird, huh? We're ready to mist a little bit of toner on the front. Perfect brown is a little too light. Dark walnut's too dark. So we're going to go with what's called medium brown walnut. And I'm just going to barely mist it on. I mean, I'm not even going to do a spray. I'm just going to, we're going to come way back here and do it like this. Let's see if we can't get some kind. Just barely mist it on there. Just barely. See if we can't get some kind of a even color here. Well, that's about as good as I can get. And the next thing I have to do is put a little stain on a Q-tip and get down in these little spots right here, so it all looks real nice around there. But she doesn't look too bad. I think that's pretty good. What I'm going to do now, in addition to staining this up, once I get it stained, I'm going to go over and clean the cabinet real good and give it one more coat of semi-gloss Mohawk lacquer finish. Now, years ago I did a lot of oil painting, and we used to mix paint. We'd mix this, mix that, mix this, mix that, and the next thing you know, we had a glob of nothingness. We used to call it mud. You have to take that paint, just throw it away and start over and try to establish the color you were trying to get to. What we had earlier when we were trying to color the front of this cabinet, by adding one toner on top of another, we had mud, okay? So you now know what not to do. Take it step by step, think it out, and you'll get a much better result, which I think we now have. Well, that's it, folks. I'm going to go ahead and call this cabinet restored. It's not exactly 100% perfect. I just can't quite get it the way I want it, but I'm not going to waste any more time on it. It looks very good, a whole lot better than it did. And the chassis is done, the cabinet's done, with the exception of the grill cloth, and we'll take care of that later. So the next video will be about bias cells. I've been wanting to get to those bias cells for quite a while. So until next time, I appreciate you all watching. Once again, this is John.